Hi, I'm Jeff Probst, and I'm going to teach you how to play I'm a Little Crabby. Here's how to play. Pick a partner and split up into teams of 2. You and your partner privately decide on a secret signal, such as touching your nose or blinking a lot. Everyone sits across from each other and takes turns drawing crab cards. If you get 4 matching cards, you are a little crabby. Try to communicate this to your partner using your secret signal. If your partner sees your signal and yells, "You're a little crabby," you get points. But if an opponent sees your signal and yells, "You're a little crabby," you lose points. Points are crabs. Crabs are points. Whichever team scores the most crabs wins. Let's show you how to set up the game and go over how turns work. Setup. The first thing to do is split up into teams of 2. If you're playing with an odd number of players, there will be one team with 3 players, and that's fine. You and your partner go somewhere in private and devise a secret signal together so that none of the other teams can see. Secret signals can be anything you want, but there are 2 restrictions. 1, it has to be non-vocal, no words or numbers. 2, you can't use signals that other players are unable to see, like playing footsie under the table. If you're unsure about your signal being allowed or not, use this rule. If your signal feels like cheating, then it's probably cheating. Once everyone has their secret signal worked out, return to the table. Each teammate sits across from each other. Try to sit diagonally if you can, that way your partner can see your secret signal, but your opponents can see it as well. If there is a team with 3 players, 2 of the players will sit on the same side of the table. Once everyone is seated, divide the table into 2 sides. Imagine an invisible line running down the center of the table, splitting up all the teammates. Put the crabbing license on the table and have it pointed at whichever side of the table wants to go first. Shuffle the deck and deal 4 cards to each player. Keep your cards secret. Next, deal 4 cards into the center of the table, face up. This is the ocean. This is where you're going to get new cards from. Place the rest of the deck face down on the table. Distribute 2 crab tokens, or points, to each player and put 8 crab tokens into the box lid, also known as the crab pot. If you have extra tokens, remove them from the game. You won't need them. If there is a 3-player team, each player on that team will instead receive 1 crab token, and all players on a 2-player team will each receive 3 crab tokens. So, here's how the table should look. Now that we're set up, let's learn how to play. Taking turns. There are no individual turns in this game. Instead, an entire side of the table plays at the same time. You play by swapping cards in your hand with cards from the ocean, with the goal of getting 4 of a kind in your hand. If you see a card you want, pick it up. But you must immediately put a card down from your hand to replace the one you took. This means you'll always have 4 cards in your hand, and there are always 4 cards face up in the ocean. So, when the crabbing license is pointed at your side of the table, everyone can start swapping cards from the ocean to their hand as many times as they want for as long as they want. There is no limit to the number of times you can do this, and your side of the table plays at the same time. So if you see a card you really want, grab it quickly before someone else does. Just remember, for each card you pick up, you must put 1 down. So you'll only ever have 4 cards in your hand, and there will always be 4 cards face up in the ocean. While one side of the table is picking up and putting down cards, the other side of the table is watching them, trying to figure out if they have 4 of a kind or not. When you get 4 of a kind in your hand, you're not allowed to say anything. Instead, it's time to pass your secret signal to your teammate. Signals and accusations. If you have 4 of a kind and you perform your secret signal and your partner notices, they should point at you and yell, "You're a little crabby." If they're right, you get a point. Show everyone your cards to verify, then put them in the discard pile, then grab a crab token from the crab pot and draw 4 new cards. If an opponent thinks they see your secret signal, they can point at you and yell, "You're a little crabby." If they're right, you lose a point. Show everyone your cards to verify, put them in the discard pile, then give this opponent one of your crab tokens and draw 4 new cards. If your teammate accuses you of being a little crabby, but you don't actually have 4 of a kind, your team loses a point and must put one of their crab tokens back into the crab pot. If this happens, you don't have to show or discard your hand, just keep it and continue playing. If an opponent accuses you of being a little crabby, but you don't actually have 4 of a kind, then they must give you one of their points. Again, if this happens, you don't have to show or discard your hand, just keep it and continue playing. Accusations can happen at any time from either side of the table, and after any accusation is resolved, you continue playing. The other side's turn. Keep swapping cards until there aren't any left that you want. When this happens, place the cards in your hand face down in front of you to indicate that you're finished. When an entire side of the table has put all of their cards down, spin the crabbing license so it's pointing at the other side of the table. It's now that side's turn to try and collect a 4 of a kind by swapping cards from their hand with cards from the ocean. This continues until every player on that side has their cards down in front of them, indicating they're finished. When this happens, once again, spin the crabbing license to the other side. This process keeps repeating with the two sides of the table taking turns. Eventually, you're going to need to replenish the ocean. This happens when no one wants any cards from the ocean and both sides of the table have put all their cards down. When this happens, double check that no players from either side of the table want to make any more swaps, then discard the ocean and replenish it with 4 new cards from the draw pile. Then continue playing from whichever side of the table the crabbing license is pointing at. If the draw pile ever runs out, reshuffle the discard pile to create a new draw pile and continue playing. Ending the game. The game ends when there are no more crab tokens in the crab pot. You and your partner count up your combined crab tokens. The team with the most crab tokens wins. If there's a tie, the teams that are tied keep playing. The next team to score a point wins the game. Okay, that's it. Have fun.